Are you craving pizza, but you want something quick, easy, and totally vegan? These vegan pizza bagel bites are exactly what you're looking for. They're crispy on the outside and they've gotten that nice, melty, cheesy flavor on the top. And thanks to some vegan Italian sausage, it's also got that nice Italian sausage flavor. And it just fits all those, warm and comfy pizza flavors, but it does it really fast. I'm going to show you how fast it makes it. How fast you can make these. It's just amazing. So, hi, I'm Marley. I'm with the site Namely Marley. Thanks for joining me today. I like making plant-based recipes and I really like sharing them with you. And I'm so glad that you're here with me in my kitchen today because we're going to be making something that's filling my kitchen with all the wonderful pizza aromas that you can imagine. And I think you're going to love this recipe. So, let's get to it. It only requires around 4 ingredients. Can you believe that? I just any recipe that excuse me one second. Any recipe that works like that only has 4 ingredients is amazing. So it starts with mini bagels, and I buy these in the bread section of our grocery store, and I just cut them in half. Just use a little knife here and cut them in half. And place those on a baking sheet that I've lined with parchment paper. And you can make as many as your pan will hold. I like to give some space between them on the pan. So today I'm only making 6. That's wonderful. Another wonderful bonus of this recipe is that you can make a few or you can make a whole bunch. So that's the first step. And the next step is my tomato sauce. So what I've got here is, of course, if you have pizza sauce, that's great. But I'm oftentimes, I don't always have those things around. So what I started with was a can of tomato paste. Here I have a half teaspoon of dried oregano and a half teaspoon of dried basil. Just pour that right in there. And I add just a tiny bit of maple syrup. We don't want to make it sweet. We just want to add just enough to bring the flavors together. So give that a stir and voila, you got a nice, easy pizza sauce. So we put those on the bagels, just spread it around just like that. Do as much or as little as you like. If you're the kind of person that likes a lot of tomato sauce, that would be me, then put on a lot. But if you're like the kind of person who doesn't like a lot of tomato sauce, which I think that would be you, honey, don't you think? Yeah, Sean's he likes a little bit lighter tomato sauce, so I'm going to do a few that are less. So just put on there just exactly the way you like it. I do like to spread it around to the edges because that way every bite has a little bit of tomato flavor. I think you could even play around with the different toppings here. You could try an Alfredo sauce if you wanted a white pizza bagel bite. That would be really tasty and delicious. So let's just finish that one off. I think you could also use some kind of basil mixture, like a pesto. That would be wonderful. Jackie says, I was planning on English muffin pizzas tonight for dinner using vegan marinara and veggies. What a great idea. Oh my gosh, I love that. I think English muffins would be really good because they're so light and crispy. That would be really good. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna have to try that. Thank you for inspiring me. So now we're gonna move on to the cheese that I like. This is one of my favorite cheeses for pizza, and it's Daya's Italian blend. I have just discovered this at the store, so I don't know if it's available for you or not, but it's one of my favorites, and people are always asking me what's the best cheese for pizza. This is made with oat cream, so they melt pretty nicely. It's a nice flavor and it melts nicely. So I feel like it has a blend of like maybe it's got a little bit of a parmesan flavor to it in addition to the mozzarella flavor. That's one of the reasons I like it. This is the same thing here. Add as much or as little vegan cheese as you want. Sometimes you want a little bit more and sometimes you like a lighter. Just depends on, for sometimes I think if it's just Sean and I, we probably go with a lighter coating of cheese. But if I'm having people over and I want to impress them, I'll go ahead and just like indulge in a little bit more cheese. So the next thing is we would like to add a protein. That's just us. You can use, I typically use vegan pepperoni, but that requires a trip to the health food store. I've not so far been able to find vegan pepperoni. Like our local grocery store has a health food section that'll have a lot of things in it. It has all the vegan cheeses. In fact, it's got the best prices on vegan cheese, but not vegan pepperoni. I have to go to the health food store for that. So today we're using, I've got, what I have is Tofurkey's Italian plant-based sausage, and it's got wonderful flavors. And what I like about it actually is it's the perfect size. If you're using pepperoni, you pretty much have to cut it into pieces because otherwise it would cover the top of each of these little tiny bagel bites. So I like these. They're the right size. That one's still connected. So just cut them into little pieces and put them, I like to put around 3 on top, and it gives you a nice little protein pack. You may also be asking, what other ingredients could I add on these? You can just be as creative at whatever pizza toppings that you like mushrooms or black olives, or all of those things would go perfectly on these. So as you can see, I did that. Now, sometimes when I'm really in a mood to treat myself, I'll add just a little bit more cheese on top so that it melts really nicely. I have the oven preheated to 420, and that's around, what is that? I think that's around, let me see, 170. 210. Oh yeah, thank you. 210 um, Celsius. So that's going to go in the oven, and these are going to bake for like 10 minutes. So you can see that it took me just a few minutes to put together, and then it bakes for 10 minutes, and you're satisfying your pizza tooth in just like 15 minutes. So that's wonderful. That's it. And so you might also be asking, can you use regular size bagels? Do you have to use the mini bagels? Absolutely not. You can use the bigger bagels, just put more toppings on it. That works just fine. Another question I get about these a lot is, are they freezer friendly? And yes, they are. Once they're baked and you've let them cool, you can just transfer them to a freezer bag, or you can put them in a container and they freeze perfectly, which what I love is that means when you're ready to serve them, you can just throw them in the toaster oven and cook them until the cheese is remelted again, and that they've gotten crispy. So that's the way I like to do that. And that way you always have something ready. I always think that's a good idea to have things ready. So now we're ready for my favorite part of any recipe, which is the taste test. So let's just take this one and we're just going to go bite right into it. Mmm, that's so good. It's got the tomato blends so perfectly with the herby flavor of those Italian sausages and that creamy melted cheese. Mmm, that is so good. It really does satisfy that pizza craving every single time. And I love this to have at parties too, because it's, just something that everybody was going to go, they're going to see pizza, they're going to want to grab it and eat it. And Jackie even says, looks so tasty. And Erin just joined us and she said, they look so good. Thank you. I'm so glad. They are really delicious, and it's a favorite snack that we have going on. So if you know what I would love? I would love to hear from you. What is your favorite vegan pizza topping? Leave a comment below, because I'm always curious about trying new toppings on pizza, and I know there's some really unusual tastes out there, so I would love to hear from you. So thank you for joining me today. I've had such a wonderful time with you here in my kitchen with me. If you like today's video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more recipes coming your way every week. Mm.